Guess who's back?
Shady's back.
Unpop's back. Guess who's back? Yes, we're back. Unpop Kids are back.
Is this why you were quiet for the last 6 minutes thinking of that song?
Hi guys, we're back.
Cool.
Yay!
Yay!
Yes, we're back. It's finally nice to have a little bit of free time and time to breathe and be able to talk about some nerdy shit today. And I'm very excited about it. Oh yeah, I'm starting off strong.
Season
Wow.
S-bomb.
Yeah,
First S-bomb.
I was holding on to that one for a while. Anyways, guys, it's not just me. I'm surrounded by much more talented and knowledgeable people.
When did they get here?
Good question. First to my left, we have, all the way from the Escapist, Trisha Hirschberger.
Trey, hey.
Thank you guys for having me. I'm stoked to be here.
Very glad to finally have you here. I put a comma in the wrong place on
Yeah,
that
you
one.
did. Yeah, you
Sorry.
did. Wow.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Welcome to the show.
Hi. Blushing. Moving on to Matt Raub. Hi, Matt Raub.
Hi.
Say something, Matt Raub.
You can't have me. You can't ever have me. Let's relish in this.
If Matt Raub ever has his own action figure, of course he will have a cat shirt on.
That's nice.
Yeah, it's Casual Friday,
Yeah.
kids.
Yeah.
You know it. He knows it.
I hate it.
He had Trisha.
Moving on to my right is FLitZ. Hi, FLitZ. Welcome back, FLitZ.
I could say you could have me, but
No, we had a problem with that a long time
exactly,
ago.
I was
Moving
gonna
on, and Philip Molina.
Hey!
How are you doing today, Philip?
You don't know what I'm from. We've never met.
I saw him on the street. Asked, well, actually, because you've started some new stuff recently, so I don't know how to introduce you. Actually, tell us what you're doing these days, Philip.
I do nerd hosting stuff on New Rockstars, and I'm doing creative directing for Break.
Ooh.
Yeah,
He's,
buddy.
he's the brains and the prettiness.
He does an analysis of all of the shows that we watch.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Hey, what?
An analysis.
yeah. I majored in anal.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Which is why you'll never get had on this show.
So
I didn't actually hear it, but I'm sure it'll be funnier the second time.
ever.
Oh my God.
Hey guys, we're back. For those of you who are new to Unpopular Kids, we like to give our unpopular opinions about things or talk about all things great and nerdy. But we like to start off the show with something called Lightning Round. Lightning Round doesn't need to be explained to anyone because it's like any other show that does it, but we do it at the top of our show. So I have a bunch of questions that we got from
can't
you
do
guys when you tweet with the hashtag #UnpopularKids or you leave a comment down below in YouTube. I read the questions and I divvy them out to see who should answer them.
He
And
scours for days.
Yeah, days.
Hours and days he scours
in the
for these
basement
questions.
with one single light
Wait,
on.
Yeah.
guys, tell us more how the segment works.
So okay, so it's
Yeah, right.
so when
How's
there's
Twitter?
precipitation, right, and it creates rain, lightning round.
But first comes Thunder Round, then Lightning Round about 10 seconds later. Anyways, so Philip, the first question is for you.
Let him have
I'm going
it.
to cut you off.
Let him have
We're
it.
done. We're moving forward. Philip, this question came from Twitter at Zom_fighter115 says, new Ghostbusters, a bust or nah?
No, there's no buzzer.
No buzzer.
Okay.
Approximately 10 to 30
FLitZ
seconds to
just
answer.
buzzed,
Yeah. He does
Approximately
that.
10 to 30.
Yeah,
All right.
somewhere in there.
Yeah, okay, so the new Ghostbusters should be great if we look at the cast, right? Cast-wise, they're nailing it. Anyone who's been great... What? You're making a face.
I was listening.
That's his listening face.
Okay,
perks
thank
up
God.
like a dog.
All right. Yeah, Kristen Wiig is obviously like the standout one, but everybody on there is a great character performer, and it's
Chris
the
Hemsworth.
tradition of all the people that came from SNL that were originally in the original Ghostbusters. They kind of repeated that again. Paul Feig has done really well with these people. I feel like it's got all the makings for success, and yet I'm still a little concerned.
I'm terrified.
Yeah, and just not because it has ghosts in it, right?
Okay,
Yeah.
Normally that
ain't afraid
would
no
scare
ghost.
She ain't afraid enough.
But to be fair to it, and I'm very fair to films because it's very hard to make movies. We haven't seen enough yet.
Yeah, we
That's
don't even have a
right?
trailer yet.
Trailer at the end of
Yeah.
the month, just announced.
Well, and I think that's why I'm scared because we haven't seen enough of it. I agree. I think the cast is fantastic.
I allot the rest of my time to Trisha.
Thank you. I'll take that pass baton. But yeah, I'm terrified because I love the original so much, and I'm like, please don't mess it up. Please don't mess it up. Like, dear
I'm just
Jesus.
really hoping that, like, at some point in the film, Leslie Jones is angry. Like, she's never plays that, and I'm
Okay.
really hoping that she gets angry at some point in the movie.
It might happen.
That's I'm like, yeah, I haven't seen that either.
Do you know who Leslie Jones is?
Yeah, the white one.
Yep.
Next question. FLitZ, this one's for you from @NissaX3. Thoughts on Moffat, Stephen Moffat, leaving Doctor Who as the showrunner?
You know what? It's one of those things where it's time to pass the mantle. I've been keeping up with Doctor Who, and I was very excited for Capaldi, and I'm just getting to the point where I'm warming up to Capaldi. Moffat, as great as he is, he's lost the tact in his voice and his messages, and I just like, there's not even supposed to be this number of Doctor. Was it 13? Like Capaldi is great, but Moffat, his time has passed. He had a great run, and I think it's time to pass the mantle to someone who has just like the Doctor regenerates. There needs to be a new writer to regenerate.
As long as we get a
the
Sherlock
series.
Doctor crossover.
Sherlockter?
He does both. Just do it.
That would be great.
You're
Just
right,
do it.
yeah.
Break the BBC and do it.
Yeah, that'll do it.
Doctor.
Sherlockter Strange.
The Schlockter.
Sherlock Strange. Next question. We're going to go to you, Trisha, for this one.
Oh, great.
From Twitter, @Rogue of Destiny. What IP or franchise would you like to see get on the Toys to Live train like Amiibos or Skylanders?
Oh.
This is a good one. This is a
That
good
is a good one.
There's one fantastic
That's a good
answer, a
one.
lot of other good answers.
There's one fantastic answer. Is this like Cards Against Humanity? Should I try and pick what Joven
Yeah,
would
we're all
pick?
going to vote afterwards to see.
Joven's never
We're all
right, so it's
gonna
okay.
vote.
That's true.
Gosh, what would I like to see? This is going to be the weirdest answer ever.
Sex toys. Sorry.
Old school Max Steel.
Oh, wow.
I'm sorry. I know this
Wow.
is the weirdest answer
No,
ever.
that's actually really cool.
Okay, so old school Max Steel, like from the 80s here in the US, but then was popular in Latin America, everywhere else. Not the rebranded crap.
No.
Sorry, Mattel. Not the rebranded stuff that came out in the last few years. I mean, like the good old stuff.
I'm thinking Mighty Max. We're not talking about Mighty Max.
No,
right?
no.
Though
No.
Mighty Max also a great
Mighty Max
answer.
and
Yeah.
Fantastic Max.
Yeah.
No, Max Steel
Polly
had...
Pocket. Sorry.
Did we just do a new Mad Max trilogy?
Mighty Max, Max Steel, Fantastic Max.
Yeah.
No.
When these Maxes
So,
unite.
so why Max Steel?
My argument would be for Max Steel because the villains were so awesome. Like, Max was cool too. I appreciated that Max was like a dude in his like kind of late 20s, early 30s. Like, he wasn't a kid. He was a man. He was a friend of animals and nice to the environment, which is good. Yeah, kind of Captain Planet-esque, which would also be a good answer. But the villains are terrifying and they're so cool. Like, if you ever saw the toys, okay, so here I'll be nice to Mattel again. If you ever saw the toys were so awesome. Like, every villain had like 5 different actions he could do, and like it was so
It was back
badass.
when they cared about making action figures as opposed to now,
Well,
and
no,
it's just
then
like
they rebranded Max and made him like a teenage dweeb, and it was like, okay, now you're just like Ben 10, thanks.
it's like James Bond Jr.
Oh,
Remember James
man.
Bond Jr.?
Yes, I do.
Yeah.
They did that. It was like a period. Remember Johnny Quest was young and hip and cool. They were like, it was the 90s. Let's just try a bunch of shit, and it was all bad. James Bond
we were all
Jr.
on drugs.
No, I didn't see that one.
We were all on drugs in the 90s.
Matt Rob, next question.
Hey.
From @LizardKiller13. I specifically
Animal hater.
only got
Ooh.
Twitter
Just stomps on
profiles
this.
that I could actually pronounce this week. Since the Flash and Supergirl crossover is happening, what other TV show crossovers would you love to see?
Oh man, I don't know all of them. I think I just said
multiverse.
Doctor Who and Sherlock. Let's do that.
Okay.
Yeah, that'd be
counts.
great. Like honestly, like having Sherlock and Doctor Who kind of have like a great like they combat and then they become best friends and solve stuff together would be really dope. Like that'd be like our own BVS.
Yeah, we just get rid of the companion, get rid of Watson. They're just holding them back.
Who v Sherlock?
No, that's who he meant would star, the companion and Watson.
Yeah, the
Is that
companion
not
and
clear?
Watson. Yeah, it's
Oh, that's the
obviously
crossover.
that.
Duh.
No, I'd watch the hell out of that. Like I really wish like BBC would Avengers up and just take all their.
That would be
characters.
amazing.
Yeah.
The BBC universe, Downton
Yeah.
Abbey.
Johnson Abbey. Yeah, I would watch it.
Thanos is still the villain. they
Yeah,
have
for
to
some
be.
reason,
Yeah.
like we
it's
couldn't
the
come up with.
multiverse.
Yeah,
Speaking of multiverses, did you guys hear the episode title for the crossover for the Flash? And
called
Supergirl?
Multiverse.
It's called World's Finest, but they did not put an apostrophe on Worlds.
Oh.
So
The
that's
cool thing
how
about
you
that
get
is it basically confirms that the cinematic universe can still exist inside
it's
of the TV
just one of
universe.
the
Yeah.
other
Well,
Earths.
I think that's
Yeah.
also the reason in the TV verse they've gone with like different Earths. Like now we could have Grant Gustin show up in the movie as Flash. That could happen.
I feel
It
like that could happen if they're pushing him across multiple layers.
Sure.
On
Except it's
TV.
not really how the multiverse works. There isn't
Yeah,
like
I
two
know.
Barry Allens.
Well, that's the thing, exactly. There are multiple Barry Allens,
yeah,
but
there
they
are.
all look exactly the same.
Yeah.
They just have like one quirk that's different. This one's like, he's a little South American.
Yeah. Well, his mom met a different. It wasn't John
Yeah,
Wesley Shipp. It was a different guy. Yeah, it was Edward James Olmos.
Speaking of superheroes, Bucky Barnes stopped by on YouTube to ask Philip, if DC were to follow Marvel in making Netflix series, which character or team from DC should get their own Netflix series?
So this is really actually just asking, shouldn't they redo everything they tried on the CW on Netflix, doing it Netflix style?
No, I think everything they're doing on CW and CBS and even Fox is working. I think that they could do something. Well, it's your.
You stop it.
Steal.
10 to 30 seconds in lightning round.
Yeah, it feels very clear that I can't have a different answer than that.
You're wrong.
No,
You're very wrong.
no, but the thing is, they're appealing to different audiences, and the Netflix approach to stuff, honestly, is amazing. It's so good. It's realism, but at the same time, they're still doing justice to these characters and not giving us shitty versions of them. Really excited for Daredevil season 2.
Damn right.
So, honestly, I mean, don't we want to see a version of I don't want to say Gotham done better.
Yeah, I'd
But
say
I
that.
would say that.
How do you
But
make it better?
Yeah, well,
There's no
more
way.
Fish Mooney.
Yeah, that's true.
No,
Or Paul Mooney.
Sure.
Officer Mooney from Killer Clowns from Outer
Yeah,
Space.
Any Moonies, any Maxes. But no, it's just like, honestly, it's the shows that I'm a fan. I do watch the shows that are already on the CW, but I would love to see, an Oliver Queen that is like really well done. Not that I dislike Stephen Amell, but imagine Netflix's approach to these
Just
kinds of
say it.
things.
Just say a Green Arrow that's not Batman.
Yeah,
Go ahead, say
well,
it.
right. Well, it's
Go
like
say it.
Right, they had to find an interesting story by just making him Batman.
Right.
Right, and it's like I feel like
Overwatch.
Netflix would have also, they wouldn't have tried the CW bullshit that was
Yeah.
at in the first couple seasons of like, oh, will they or won't they love
Love
interest?
triangle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
And
pretty
also
much-
Netflix has a budget.
Yeah.
So any CW show, just darker, grittier, and less love triangles.
Doesn't have to be darker, grittier. It just has to be
Better.
better.
Unless
honestly,
it's Suicide Squad.
But yeah, I would say that's because Netflix targets like our
Us.
demographic.
Yeah.
So we want to see the one for us as opposed to the
And
CW.
they can get away with it.
I'd take all the stuff they think they're making with Guillermo del Toro and put it on Netflix because it's not going to play in a movie. I don't think
yeah.
like Justice
Like
League
Justice League
Dark
Dark?
would work. Like Constantine. Take that and make it a Netflix
Yeah.
show.
Good answers.
My answer's not as good
Constantine
as yours.
just cuts.
Just-
No, yeah,
yours
mine
is
is
so much
reboot
better.
the television universe on Netflix.
Yeah, I like it's okay.
hold
It's
your
okay.
hand.
Thanks.
Next question, this time for FLitZ from @Eric's the Powerful. What do you think of the next
Erex.
Mass Effect game? Erex the Powerful. Yeah. Erex the Powerful. What do you think of the next Mass Effect game only being in the Andromeda Galaxy?
I think it's great. I've never been to the Andromeda Galaxy.
It's the one with
it'd
Kevin
be-
Sorbo.
It'll be interesting to see how the dev team and all the writers, how they imagine another galaxy that we can't even imagine. And, eventually, once we hit that galaxy, we'll find out how right or wrong we were about it. And that's fun. It's all
Well,
speculation. It's
they've
fun.
also done a great job creating their own universe. I think they'll be able to do the same thing in a galaxy.
Oh, well, that's what. Well, we were in the Milky Way galaxy first, and now we're going to
And
be in the
still-
Andromeda galaxy.
No,
That's- yeah.
we moved.
We're not in
So,
the Milky Way now.
but-
No, we got evicted.
I'm
surprising.
curious where in the timeline. I think that's the most interesting thing. Where in the timeline, because you could have a story where humans actually came from the Andromeda galaxy, running from something else,
That's
or
true, the
are we
Protheans
going
come
to
from there.
something else? Oh, it's exciting! It's exciting! It's another galaxy. That's a big deal.
Do you think we'll get something at E3?
Philosophy.
Like something
I-
actually?
Yes.
Yeah, but it
they're
still
gonna-
won't come out for another 2 years.
Nope.
Next question, also from YouTube. Deaf Mankind says, what do you think about Square Enix's statement on Final Fantasy VII's remake being episodes, and what game would you like to see Square remake next? Trisha.
Okay. I am not opposed to the episodes, which I think is probably the unpopular opinion.
Did we not get the confetti? We didn't get the confetti. All right.
No,
It's on
Okay.
its way.
it's not in the budget.
I'm not opposed to the episodes, and I say that because I always feel so overwhelmed by the amount of games that are out there because I want to play them all. I get really excited and I buy them all, and then I want to play them all, and I don't have time to do that, and it's very overwhelming. It makes me sad because there's games just sitting in my Steam that still need to be played.
Yeah, I can relate.
And so at least if it comes out in episodes, I can look at it and say, that's a doable task. And I
True.
can sit there and play through it, feel like I've completed something, and then I build up my, I build up my energy and my excitement for the next episode when it comes out. And it doesn't break my bank all at the same time.
That's true. I'm sure the price tag will be the same amount as a normal game would be, or at least that's how it should be. Square Enix.
Square anus.
Yeah,
But also, I feel like it just goes completely against this rather unhealthy period of time that we're in, where we're all about binging. You binge TV shows. You binge
Yeah.
video games.
Yeah, but binging a 200-hour video game is very different than binging a 10-hour TV show.
Only if you have a girlfriend.
Yeah.
No.
well, and maybe
Or a boyfriend.
Or her boyfriend. You're right.
maybe it just has to do with the fact that I don't really binge watch that much either.
Okay.
So it's not something that's like
What do you do then?
I am the most ADD person ever. Like I'm like I'm gonna play this game for 2 hours, and now I'm gonna go watch 2 episodes of this, and then I'm gonna make dinner.
That
and then
makes
I'm
no
gonna go
sense to
over
me.
there
I don't
and play
understand it. Next question.
Build my Legos.
But you know what works is only playing the Lego games because they come out just in enough time to finish each one. Like they just announced
pretty
Force
much get your
Awakens.
next one.
I'm like, oh, I'll finish Avengers by the time Force Awakens comes out.
Get your
comes out
100% in
June.
there.
Yeah, I can do it. It works.
Matt, Rob, we want to pick your brain a little bit.
Don't.
At least
Please don't.
Alexa Andrews 64 does.
Hi.
Thoughts on Legends of Tomorrow?
Oh man.
Complicated.
I love it. It's great. It's great. FLitZ had a really good point, but we were talking about before it started. It is very much the Avengers, even to the point where they even do the kind of rotate around everyone
Yeah.
doing powersy things.
You have to
Which
do
is
that.
cool.
It's a great show.
It was a great show, but they've done it now twice in each
That's
episode.
that's a Joss Whedon movie.
It's a very much Joss Whedon movie. I love it. I think that the marketing was very poorly placed because it's like a lot of people watched the pilot, which they should have because it was everywhere. But it's a show that you need to know the Arrow and Flash universe to get. Because I was really worried watching the pilot, watching both Arrow and Flash from the start, going like, oh man, I really don't want like a 40-minute and here's Fire and Ice, and here's I get it. Like, just move on. Let's just do a thing. And they did do that, except they lost everyone that hasn't watched those shows. So they really kind of ruined it for anyone who already isn't in the DC TV universe.
They tried to make a show for I feel like for what they think the new comic book fans want.
I do, and I did.
Yeah.
Do you not like it?
It's
A sigh.
also
Starting
don't
with a
watch Arrow.
sigh. You watch
it's
Arrow.
there's certain characters that I'm just the performance range between the different actors. Like, I mean, with Captain Cold at the top, he's slaughtered so hard,
Yeah.
and it's so hard with the other actors trailing behind.
Right. Well, you've
on
got the big names. You've got the Wentworth Millers, and you've got the captain from Titanic, and you've got all these different actors, and then you've got the guy that played Hawkman, who's like never done anything.
Right.
So you've got to fill it in with some CW actors, like to make it work, so that they don't break the bank. Yeah,
I think it's
yeah.
really funny that
It's true.
on a number of occasions, like we've been like, don't hold my hand through this movie. I don't need to see another origin story. But then when
You
we do get
always
it,
make me hold your hand.
Tells you not
now
to.
that we have a
Yeah.
TV show where it's not holding our hand, it's like, hey, here's what's happening in the universe. Now here's this story. I think it's good that they're going for that, but I guess you will lose some viewers, and I hope it doesn't hurt them in the long
I mean,
run.
it's on a regular decline. I think it did less than a 1-point rating share last night, which is not good. I mean, God, and just for everyone who doesn't know how ratings work, like Big Bang Theory had 3.6 last night, and Legends of Tomorrow had 0.9.
Yeah, you picked the top rated show on TV
Right,
to compare
right.
against.
But I mean, like but that's an average, right? If like
Yeah.
everyone knows people that watch Big Bang Theory, like this is kind of it's not doing too great.
Think of it like a GPA.
Exactly.
The question
exactly.
is, how
They're
well is
doing
it doing
something.
on Hulu, and how important is that? Because Hulu will eventually no longer allow you to watch.
I
new
mean,
shows there.
here's the thing. I love the show. Love the show. But I also love all of the shows for the most part. Like I can find everything to love in Supergirl. I can find stuff to love in
The
Gotham.
man does love Gotham, so
I
he
do
can
like
love
my
anything.
Gotham, but I think it's gonna be here forever. I don't know.
Well, that's why I'm saying, come on, Netflix. Like,
Yeah.
if you want. But so look at Jessica Jones, right? I know so many people watch Jessica Jones
Yeah.
and had never seen
That
any
was
of these
so
other
good.
shows.
Well,
any
yeah,
other
and
Marvel
they
stuff.
didn't need to.
Exactly, right? And yet, like, there's hints to that world, but good storytelling is good storytelling. If it
Yeah.
requires you to go back and, like, catch up on other stuff, that feels more like a cash grab.
It is a
than
cash
good
grab. That's
storytelling.
exactly
Oh,
what
it
CW's
is.
do. I mean, God, they're putting out a Riverdale High show next season. Like it's going to be an Archie live action show.
Right.
Like they're just going for the DC whatever. They're like, ooh, shelf of this. I want this.
By
like
the way,
that's
I'm
what's
in that.
working.
I'm gonna be Jughead.
Oh, nice.
I
Really?
Congrats.
Wow.
Yeah, congratulations. It's about time.
Yeah, it is about time that they cast someone of color in that.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
It took place in the
Yeah, and originally it was a black and white comic.
Yeah, it was. It was.
All right, guys, so that's lightning round this week. Thank you for all of your questions. Remember, if there's anything that you want us to
Segregated.
comment on, go ahead and tweet us with the hashtag Unpopular Kids, or leave a comment down below. And if you're listening to this on something like SoundCloud, well, tweet us.
Stop. No. Just kidding.
Thank you.
just kidding.
just
love
broke
the 50 of you. Guys, this week we were talking about, it's 2016. We have a bunch of great superhero movies. I think this is the year where we really just start to see a superhero movie every 3 months. But here's the thing that we have found in the past. Superhero movies can suck. Even Deadpool, which comes out next week.
It can't.
But won't.
You're a liar. You're a liar. It
can
can't and it
happen.
won't.
So I want to talk about the superhero movies that come out this year and how they potentially could be bad, essentially.
Oh, well, I'm more of a glass half full guy.
Me too.
I'm also a glass half unpopular.
Yeah.
Everything's
So-
gonna suck always. Trisha, you're on my side. Everything sucks.
Yeah, just awful
well,
and
yeah.
shit.
Okay, you
Well,
guys
like,
suck on our half full glasses.
Avengers: Age
You
of
won't be
Ultron, for
hacked,
example. Age of Ultron, for example,
Anal
was
mech.
following some great Marvel movies and a sequel to an amazing Marvel movie, but kind of fell short. It didn't hit people's expectations. It could have been overhyped, which definitely could be the case for Deadpool. It's had so much positive hype around it for so long, from the people creating the movie, creating the franchise, and fans in general.
Flitz is gonna burst.
Flitz is pooping.
The bar
Flitz is pooping.
could
Can we
bar
get
be
Can
too
we get a
high.
new diaper for Flitz?
Well,
please?
see,
Oh, it's the confetti.
I would have to. I would have to compare it to. I feel like I can't talk about. I can only really
Use your
see
words.
how is it gonna suck. We've seen all the ways it can and is going to suck. The only way it's gonna suck is if people focus too much on the R rating and don't go see it because of this weird thing that exists with the R rating, that it's not even that brutal. Like, it's not even that far off from PG-13. The only reason why it's probably going to be R is because of the massive violence. How is it going to suck? It's going to be incredibly violent. Nope, that doesn't
Well,
suck
and the
to me.
lines are going to be
Yeah,
very,
the R-
very
the
R
R
rating is for
rating-
the language and the
Right,
violence,
but the
right?
R rating is a marketing play.
Yeah.
The R
Oh,
rating
yeah,
is
that's fair.
100%.
No, that's-
Well,
See,
but you
that's
couldn't have done
genius.
Deadpool without an R rating.
Exactly, but that's
Well,
what people
they did.
say,
Yeah.
and that's what people are going for.
I
They're
think-
literally making this movie for the fans, specifically
that's-
for the fans, which is why it's so unfortunate that it's going to be released on the same weekend as Valentine's Day,
Right.
a rom-com and a sequel to a nostalgia movie.
And they are literally marketing it as a rom-com.
Yeah, which is
so
great.
funny.
It's
I
great.
agree.
Which is hilarious.
Like, he does
He's
a
on
great
Tinder
marketing.
right now. If you look into Tinder, Deadpool is on there, and he
man.
swings every way.
Oh,
Yeah, I'm
why are
not
you
as
on-
concerned that
Nothing?
fans aren't going to like it. I think if we define suck as maybe doesn't do so
The
well at the
monetary thing
box
of it? Okay.
office,
Yeah.
then
well, that's the
gonna-
question. Do we define? Is that how we define suck? Because in that case,
Well, you guys suck. What do you think?
Uh,
You guys said you were team suck.
that's offensive.
I'll tell you what
did
full
not say
means,
that.
and you guys.
It's full and suck,
Yeah.
No way.
and then half.
Nope, that just-
Just hand stuff. I
oh,
think
with the
it's,
shirt hand stuff.
I think I
With the
define. He just drapes his shirt. I think I
Over a
do.
butthole.
Stop it.
Wrong answer.
I think it's.
went
Anal
so
major.
wrong.
I define suck, and Trisha, I don't know if you're on this side or not.
Let's hear.
I define suck as not doing well financially because that's how the
Okay.
studio's going to define
Yes.
suck. Because
The
here's the thing:
corporate
it's
studio.
going to come out, everyone's going to go see Zoolander. Deadpool is not going to do as well as people think because they're going to hold it up to a mirror against a Batman versus Superman, against the Civil War, against every other superhero movie that comes out this year, or even against every other R-rated comic book movie, a Judge Dredd,
Kick-Ass.
Kick-Ass.
Yeah.
Yeah, I loved all those. We will probably love the movie. I think I'm going to love the movie. I'm very excited. It will not do well financially in the theaters, and I think that is going to be a very big thing for studios,
disagree.
especially
Well,
Fox.
that's-
It
look at-
might do well in theaters
think
if it
it
gets
will.
insane word of mouth.
Exactly. Word of mouth is
Mad
gonna happen.
oral.
Same thing as exactly. Stop it. Angry
We're talking
mouth.
about Deadpool. We have to go with the flow.
Yeah, the Merc with the mouth that can. Anyway. No, it's gonna do Guardians of the Galaxy. It's going to do Guardians of the Galaxy numbers, but it's gonna have the same path where people are like, "Holy crap, this is so different from everything we've gotten all year." That people are just gonna be like, "Oh, you don't like Marvel movies? You don't like whatever? Go watch this movie." It's just,
So
in
just
fact,
like word of mouth for Jessica Jones.
Which would be so
Yeah.
good
Yeah.
because that would resonate through Fox. That would
I
go.
hope so.
But yoing, 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 yoing. That would make such.
everything
No,
in
no,
there
that's
went
actually
down
the
to
name of their
anyone else?
international division.
Yeah, but yoing, 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 yoing.
It'll go right to them.
Well, based on your definition of
Beijing,
suck,
Beijing.
with something like Man of Steel, like had a lot of issues and a lot of fans didn't like the movie, but did it do well enough in the box office to not suck?
Yes.
Well, and that's why I ask, how are we defining suck? Because
has to
if
make
we're
its money
saying
back.
it really disappoints the fans suck, or it really disappoints the shareholders suck.
Here's the real measure, right? Is it going to get a sequel?
Well, that's a shareholder question.
Deadpool.
Deadpool.
Right, or the Cable and Deadpool movie, right?
Yeah.
Is that going to have
Well,
a-
no,
I would love
the
that. Oh my
X-Force?
gosh, dude. Sorry, I got excited.
I know. I saw
I'm
it.
already excited about Deadpool. If you can't
Yeah,
tell, clearly.
just a few more days. Just a few more days. Well, so it does seem, I would also guess with the fans, that the movie's not going to suck. It's going to be fantastic.
Yay.
Here's hoping. But we have a bunch of other superhero movies
Everything
this
that
year.
DC makes.
Everything.
Everything that's coming out this year for cinematic DC is going to suck. I'm putting
Even-
money down everything.
Suicide Squad?
Everything.
I feel like
everything.
it too. They're playing it way too safe, and they're trying.
Safe?
They're trying without listening. No, they're mashing the foods wrong, and that's what the issue.
Ice cream and ketchup.
It don't make no sense. They ain't no Neapolitan. They're playing way too much ketchup. And I feel like because they're stuffing so much into these different, like they're trying to play it safe with Suicide Squad, and I'm comparing Suicide Squad to Deadpool.
Define play it safe.
Yeah.
Like,
I mean, well, Suicide Squad being PG-13, and as a person who read the comic books and understand that heads get bitten off in X, Y, and Z, and they are criminals. I want to see
I think
criminals.
those
I don't want to
still
see
happen.
Disney
Yeah.
criminals.
Here's the
yo.
thing. Here's the thing you need to know about
Yeah.
the MPAA. Violence doesn't mean shit to ratings.
Yeah.
There still will be
You
violence. in that
will
movie.
have violence. Will you get a boob of Harley Quinn? No. Will you get Joker saying
movie
fuck?
Quinn.
No. You're gonna get violence.
Get mad
Yeah,
I'm saying it
Joker
though.
boob.
I'll say
And that's
fuck.
why I get so mad, because I want criminals. They're criminals.
Well,
They're Disney
guys.
criminals. Yeah, exactly.
bad guys.
They're Disney's criminals,
We
though.
can't
Like,
write them off as Disney's criminals yet. We
Thi-
don't know.
This might be a bad comparison, but I did just see it again recently, so I'm going to make the comparison. I watched X-Men: The Last Stand. Okay, yes, a lot of issues
Why?
with that movie, but some of the
fan of
action
Kelsey
with
Grammer.
he did great as Beast. Like, let's acknowledge
Well, when
that
you
was a high
remember
point of
that-
that
Your
movie.
credibility is dropping by the
Kelsey
second.
Grammer was a great Beast.
okay, voice.
Okay.
Voice.
Great voice. He was a great Beast.
Tom Holling's the best Superman.
But Wolverine had some great action scenes in that movie where he had some gruesome kills, but no blood. Like, he's like just full on stabbing people in a school, mind you, or when he's hunting in the forest. Like, there's some great action that we can do with PG-13. Look at Lord of the Rings. Great, amazing action. PG-13. We had heads flying and everything.
yeah, everything is PG-13.
I don't
pretty
think.
much.
Yeah, I don't
So-
think the argument is that it's not going to be violent. I think that it's going to be as violent as we want it to be. I think the argument is going to be they're making this movie without having any of the fan support. I think they're making it's a hot topic movie. It feels like a hot topic. movie.
Speaking
Really
of which,
hard.
Hot Topic
That's harsh,
Suicide
but
Squad.
I mean,
There you go. That, it meant not
It's
so much
being
Disney.
made for
Hot
marketing.
Topic.
Yeah, it's being
Yeah,
made for marketing. It's being
Yeah.
made for the 11 to 19-year-olds. The fact that after the trailer came out when we went to New York Comic Con, everyone was in the Margot Robbie Harley Quinn costume.
Wow.
Cool. Well, they
You
were
had
in
to
they
expect
were in a
that.
Harley Quinn costume before, right?
Right,
So
but-
they've been
It's just a
desperate for
newer
the
one.
update.
They're
yeah.
so desperate for a Harley Quinn that I feel like no matter what, it's going to appeal to that audience.
well, if you're looking at cosplay, that's kind of a thing, though. As soon as you get a new costume reveal, even in video games, we've seen like concept art, and then like the next Comic-Con,
Everybody's got
Right.
it.
everyone's
The
dressed as like
Arkham
kids with
Asylum
volume.
movie.
But it's
Yeah.
volume.
I'm like sitting here really hoping that the Suicide Squad Blu-ray comes with a Hot Topic coupon, though.
I want to.
It's called Hot
see Jared
Cash.
Leto's Joker.
I definitely do.
I'm
Yeah, I
excited
think a lot
to
of
see
people are
Jared
curious.
Leto's Joker.
No, seriously, he looked like garbage. The whole thing looked terrible
You
until recently. Honestly, I've never seen the marketing spin a movie so well. It really was the joke of the town, right? No pun intended. But when that graphic came out, and we're all like, "Are you fucking kidding us right now with these tattoos and everything?" And everybody hated on that thing equally. And then we've seen just a little bit more, and we're like, "Oh, he's like kind of actually creeping us out."
Yeah.
And he actually seems like he might deliver.
Well, he's a great
He's a
actor.
great
actor.
He's also a method actor. Like
He's
so-
also a meth
Which
head.
He might be now.
every
previous Joker.
every Joker actor has approached it from like a method place, and then like most of them die. Jack Nicholson's technically dead.
Caesar Romero's still kicking.
Oh, but no, I want to see Jared Leto's Joker. I mean, he looks genuinely creepy to me now.
Yeah.
I'm excited to see that.
But also, after the most recent trailer for Suicide Squad, going to Twitter trends and Facebook trends,
You don't do any of those things.
I did too.
He goes to trends.
Yeah.
Trends.com.
Siri?
But fans
What's
really
trending?
started to get turned around. Maybe it was the fact that they used a very popular Queen song. Maybe it was finally showing off what these characters are capable of or who they are. But it did start to appeal to a much larger audience, and that could work in its favor when it comes to box office wise.
Yeah, I mean it's still it's a Will
Especially if
Smith
Deadpool
action
does
movie.
well. If Deadpool does
Deadpool.
well, Deadpool. If we see Deadpool, see now you messed me up. If we
Deadpool?
see Deadpool
Where's that
do
banana
well
integration
as a
right
very
there?
different type of hero, an anti-hero, we could see something great come from Suicide Squad. Speaking of there being too much crammed into a movie,
Where do I start about how wrong you are? My God.
Are you about to go into Batman vs Superman?
Yeah.
well, I was actually going to look at Civil War. I think
Oh,
It's gonna be great.
Too much.
People have
chanting?
wept. People have wept who saw it. People, the Russos think that it is one of the biggest fan service films, and that's coming from a Marvel movie. That's great.
Right.
It's gonna be great.
Yeah.
how could the movie suck though? And I think that it could have too much. It's Avengers 3 essentially. You have everyone in it, only missing a few faces. And when you have that much screen time that you have to go from each person to each person, some people are going to be upset. I didn't see enough Captain America. I didn't see enough story.
I don't
didn't-
think you're not going to see enough Captain America.
Yeah,
You're probably gonna be-
There are two really
Certainly.
clear ways that it might suck. If you read Civil War in the comics, the scale of the event crosses all
Gigantic.
of Marvel, right?
Yeah.
Every single person that you can think of is in there somehow. Matt Raub makes a cameo in
I do.
Civil
Yeah.
War.
No, I was in it.
As Stan Lee.
Yeah.
She-Hulk, Matt Raub.
Excellent. That's my phrase.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Everyone is in it. In this, even though you're like, oh, it's gonna have so much, it's like the Avengers. I mean, the Avengers is tiny in comparison to the scale of Civil War. So one, it might not feel like it does justice to the scale of the event, especially the political scale of the event and the analysis of the legitimate question: should heroes register themselves and be monitored by the government, or should they be allowed to be kind of vigilantes and do that system? They both have issues. That's one way it could suck. And then the other one is the reaction to the fact that when they got Spider-Man, they didn't intend to have Spider-Man. They
So
had
we
to
don't-
rewrite for it. And Black Panther was originally going to play the crucial Spider-Man
And
role.
Cloverfield,
Well, that's
Also, Cloverfield is a movie that came out a couple years ago.
who's also in Civil War.
Yeah, exactly. But so we always know these last-minute rewrites could
Yeah.
mess things up. Maybe the Black Panther character now is like, "Hi, bye."
Yeah.
You know, what do
Well,
we
he
know?
runs and
Yeah.
punches a
Those
thing
are
and then
my
runs
two.
away.
Yeah, I agree with both you guys. I think the smaller characters could get lost in the shuffle, and you're going to have people who are diehard fans of Black Panther, of any of the smaller characters in the plotline of this film who
Wow,
are going to be really
Joven.
upset.
What?
No, I'm excited for Black
Yeah.
Panther, but I'm
okay,
excited.
wow,
I'm
wait.
excited
Big
to
fan.
see. I'm excited. I didn't even know you were looking at me. I had no
He was
idea.
lost in thought.
I was daydreaming.
At
No,
what point can I start arguing there
I-
are not enough fat Americans in superhero movies? Can I
You
start
can.
bitching? Where are there are not
The
enough
Blob
fat
was
We
in
got
one of
Blob
them.
in X-Men
Actually,
Origins.
Blob was going to be in Deadpool, and they wrote him out because he was too fat.
Oh.
They replaced him with Gina Carano.
Oh,
Seriously.
That's
No.
a great joke.
No,
No,
it's
it's
sad.
totally true.
Sad.
It's totally true.
No. I think it's great. Well, I'm just excited to see Black Panther on a big screen, and eventually, once it's a good introduction to him because a lot of fans don't know who Black Panther is. So this is that gateway
Batman.
movie.
Yeah.
He is. Well, he's spiritual Batman.
Everyone's
Yeah.
Batman.
He has ancestral powers, whatever. But and to see
Incestual.
what concept
Incestuous
to
powers.
find to
Hey, Mom.
see a movie eventually that's going to take place on the African continent, an advanced city of the future. It's going to open up whole new doors, and I think that's what Civil War is going to do. That's what they're doing. It's again, I said it before, as with the Moffat thing, it's a passing of the mantle because anyone who's read Civil War understands what happens to Cap. Do we think that's going to happen to Cap in this movie?
I think
Or some version of that.
Some version of that.
Like
So
that.
it's
Of
a
the handoff.
passing of
I think
mantles.
it does make sense that they're going to have all these other characters that they won't focus on too much, but at the same time, this movie is kind of helped set up the next wave of Marvel movies. We aren't getting more Iron Mans. We're getting a Black Panther movie. We're getting more Ant-Man and Wasp. But I think they need to focus more on these heroes that we don't care about yet as much, but they're going to force that upon us. And I think that's how the movie could maybe just not be as good as it should be.
I've already subscribed to the notion that all of these movies are going to be broad strokes of the comics, right? You're not going to get Civil War in its real pure glory. You're not going to get Apocalypse in its glory. You're not going to get Suicide. You're going to get broad strokes. You're going to get it because realistically, if comic books were made for a wider audience, more people would be reading them. They're not. They're made for
They're
a very
made for a
niche
niche
audience,
audience.
right?
Right,
So
but
how do you take
films
something
aren't.
like, film is hard because you need a wide audience to make it work. So you take something like Civil War and you're like, okay, well, we can't do mutants and we really can't do, we can't do Norman Bates. Rockwell?
Osborne.
Yeah.
Norman Rockwell.
Norman
Painting up the
Rockwell.
storm.
Yeah.
Norman Rage Rockwell.
All my
Norman
Normans.
Rockwell Marvel movie.
Yeah, I'd watch it.
I'd buy that painting. I'd buy that painting.
But I mean, you can't do that kind of stuff. We're just going to have to accept what it is. It's going to be Cap and his team versus Iron Man and his team. There are a couple of everyone hates Cap because he's saving his friend who was an assassin that was brainwashed. All right, sure. I'll buy into it. Why not, right? I do think that there are going to be people that are like, didn't get enough Scarlet Witch, Black Widow didn't pick up a shield enough. There are going to be a lot of people like that complain not enough Black Panther, not enough Spider-Man. People were bitching about the trailer that there wasn't enough Spider-Man. It's like, he just shot his thing yesterday. No shit he's on the trailer. Like, come on.
Well, speaking of Marvel, let's look at a movie that comes out much later in the year.
Cloverfield.
Yeah, definitely Cloverfield.
God damn it. I want to talk about Cloverfield.
We can
Next
talk
time.
about that after.
All right, we'll talk about it after.
Doctor Strange.
It's gonna be so good.
I'm excited personally because magic is cool. And I'm very curious.
Can't fight with that.
And I got
And that's a wrap. Well, no, but so the technology has been covered in the Marvel universe, right? And magic through the Norse, through the Thor, through all those guys, they're aliens. They're not magic per se. We just perceive it as that. But Doctor Strange is magic. So how is that going to be presented? I'm so curious.
Which
Straight
could be
up.
now again. I think going to the theme of this year being different. We're getting different types of superheroes. We're getting different superhero
Thank you,
situations.
James Gunn.
Yes. It could be too different. Like the end of Ant-Man got a little weird.
For like 5 seconds.
But
though.
I feel like we're starting to introduce magic already in Suicide Squad with Enchantress. So we'll
that
get
comes
to
out
The
before.
concept of superhero movies going into magic.
Right. Yeah, and delving into that a little
Yeah,
bit. So
well,
maybe
DC is
people
definitely
will
going
be,
for it.
maybe your broad audience will be kind of used to that idea by the time that Doctor Strange.
Dude,
comes.
honestly, how many times can you see a guy's like, oh man, good thing I have $1 billion and so much
And some
technology.
science.
Right. It's like you can only see that so many times.
Yeah.
You need magic.
Now I have $1 billion and magic.
Based on that alone, I would guarantee you're going to see a good amount of Scarlet Witch in Civil War doing something mind-bendy just to tease the audience.
That makes
This
sense.
is the type of
Because
shit you're going to
they
see
have
in
the
November.
same fingers.
Yeah.
And
Well,
one is chaos,
her hands
one
are a
is
little
order.
smaller.
All humans have the same fingers.
Well, and I
that's
couldn't
true,
be more
Tim.
excited that it's Benedict Cumberbatch.
Yes.
yeah,
Yeah.
best
So
actor
good.
Like,
working
really-
today.
Benny come
And
back.
at the end of the day, the movie could be over everyone's head, just way too much, but everyone will say, man, Cumberbatch just nailed it. That role was made
He
for him.
always does.
I just, if you guys have seen, so you can still go see him in Hamlet. They like are streaming it. Benedict Cumberbatch doing Hamlet is like game changing for Hamlet. People, it's like, damn, I knew Hamlet was kind of good, but Benedict doing it,
It's like, I still don't know what
reborn.
they're saying, but boy, do I like it.
Well, it's in Spanish. But yeah, no.
Hamlet.
Omelet. But he's literally one of the greatest actors of our current time, and he's in a fucking Marvel movie. How
Yeah.
badass is that?
It's badass.
And speaking of Marvel movies that come out this year, we also have, unless I'm wrong, Thor?
You're wrong.
Yeah.
Am I?
Yes,
Is that 2017?
yes.
Okay, well, in that case.
Apocalypse.
X-Men Apocalypse.
Yeah,
That's out this year.
Apocalypse.
Which, following in the footsteps of First Class, Days of Future Past, I like the movies, but I do think that they've been getting a little as we go along. We could still see another dip, but at the same time, I think there's going to be a lot of fan service, and that's, I think, going to cloud a lot of people's judgment.
I think a lot of people are going to be excited because it's the 80s and we are already living in the 80s again.
Kind of.
You're going to have that
Yeah.
nostalgia play.
You're going to
Yeah,
have
yeah.
a lot of nostalgia play because the millennials, as we are, right? Like, that's... It's,
You.
Yeah,
it's-
you are.
Everyone here is a millennial.
Yeah, but look at FLitZ.
I'm timeless. I'm timeless.
But you know, as you know, we grew up watching the X-Men cartoon, and this is looking to peer into
closest
that,
to that,
right?
yeah.
It's looking to dance around our cartoons and those action figures we had, and now we get to see
Now,
them
Minus all
manifest
the
through
colors.
real actors. And,
Because of based on that nostalgia factor, I think that's where the play comes in that it could suck.
well, that's
is that
expectation.
well, expectation also, but watching it, you're gonna be like, this isn't like the '90s cartoon I thought it was gonna be. Like,
Right,
oh,
which it didn't
apocalypse.
focus on Mystique in the 90s cartoon. And this
Not
is
a
going to
whole
be very
Well,
Mystique
and
heavy.
Mystique needs to be a bad
their
guy. Like, that needs to
wardrobe was
happen.
much more colorful back then.
Yellow
than it is now.
jackets. Yellow
Yeah.
jackets.
They're all
But
like
I don't
all
see.
dominatrix
I don't
now.
think they've even shown the 80s style of it though. I feel
They
like
have.
that's
Level
going to be a
of
thing
80s
that's
style.
going to be like a
Well,
surprise.
we've seen Jubilee a bit, right? And
Yeah.
she's like,
Yeah.
and then we see the like power suits that Moira McTaggart is wearing or whatever. Like she's got the bad hair.
Well, that's what I mean,
Uh,
like the black leather suits that you see them in for this now.
that you see me in? Where'd you see that?
We'll talk about it after.
Cool. Instagram day.
Um,
Go ahead.
But yeah, I was just gonna say you're missing that color from the 80s. So there's just one example of what you're talking about where people are gonna say, I expected this, and it didn't happen. That's just one small thing.
I think they'll get some, but yeah, they got to hold back. My thing with this movie is the best thing. So everyone was like, this movie, we don't know. Best thing that could have happened to this movie was Star Wars: The Force Awakens.
Yeah, Oscar
When people
Isaac.
saw Oscar Isaac, they're like, holy
Oh,
crap,
yeah.
we can love this guy. Like, we could marry this guy.
He's always been an amazing villain. I think he's a
But
great.
he just wasn't that known until now.
Right. No, I think now is going to be the time that it works. I'm glad they didn't kill him in Force Awakens. It worked
Yeah,
out for
exactly.
everybody.
But with Oscar Isaac, yeah, he was a great
Trivia.
face character in Star Wars, but now he's under a lot of makeup. It might not be like an immediate go-to for most of America that goes to see this movie. It's like, oh, it's Poe. I like that
But
guy.
most of America are going to go see it because it's X-Men
Yeah.
anyway.
Right,
Valid.
they're big
That's
Ivan
the-
Ooze fans. And
Yeah, and then the people who know him, they're gonna be like, that's the guy from Star Wars. That's the guy from Star Wars.
Mark
They all
Wahlberg
have
is
a
in
speech
Mark
in this
Wahlberg.
movie.
Like Mark Wahlberg.
Yeah, Star Wars?
That guy is Star Wars.
Wars.
That's the Star Wars.
Yeah,
So
Bob
glad we got a movie here.
we gotta.
There's one viewer of this. That's not funny.
That's okay. Stop that.
We don't talk like Mark Wahlberg.
All right, now speaking, I think there's one movie that we can all agree on that will probably suck this year.
Not Cloverfield, that's for sure.
Not Cloverfield.
Okay, it came out years ago.
Is
so-
Cloverfield going to be amazing?
I think
Go
it's
for
gonna
it.
be
Is it going to
great.
be amazing?
It's going to be great.
Matt should tease that there's a lot of drama about 10 Cloverfield Lane, but you're going to talk about it another time, bro.
Yeah, no, I'm excited because it's going to be, it's a sequel, but not a sequel. It's going to be so much fun. I don't care.
It's going to be a shoehorn sequel.
Yeah, it's going to be great.
I'm worried
this
about that.
Regardless of whether this movie was actually made without any Cloverfield attachment and then they decided to slap it in there, it's still something that's never been done before. And that's kind of
Well,
awesome.
what do you mean never been done before?
Like that style of deciding that a movie doesn't. Okay, so it works with the Saw franchise, right?
Mm-hmm.
But that's way in the script phase, right? So Saw 2 was not supposed to be Saw 2.
Are you talking about like the bottle?
No, the one where they
approach?
save the rec center,
No,
the electric
no.
boogaloo.
No, so,
I mean the approach.
I
to
get it.
So the
film,
con- so
though.
there's
Like,
this
Saw
very-
2 was written as a different
It's
movie, but
very
then
old-
turned
so
into the franchise.
The horror
Right,
franchise
right,
itself
right.
is
Yeah.
it's a very old hat thing to do where you have a franchise and then you have a script and you go, well, I really want to make this movie, but I don't want to make it because no one cares, so I'll just call it Saw 2.
Halloween
It's a
3
very-
Season of the Witch.
Yeah,
Right, right,
Halloween 3
right.
Season of the Witch, Blair Witch 2, any of these things, right? Where it's a completely different thing, but they slap it in. Cloverfield had such a rich just fiction and universe to it that I don't care what it is, it's going to be so good. I just, yep.
Yeah, well, as long as we get, I mean, honestly, they really should put the word out there rather than, it's kind of like, it reminds me a little bit of like, he's not playing con,
Yeah,
kind of thing.
yeah.
As long as they are very clear, don't expect the monster.
Right.
Don't expect the
Yeah.
Cloverfield monster.
But they have said he's a blood relative of the Cloverfield.
No, well, but they said the film is a blood relative
Yeah.
to the other film, as in like these are very strongly
It's
related
also a blood relative to
movies.
King Ralph, technically.
Yeah, well, we all are descendants of King Ralph.
Back to superheroes. Really quickly, because there's still one other movie I want to talk to before we get to our last segment, but Batman v Superman.
Oh.
It has a lot of potential.
Wait, what was the movie that you said was definitely gonna suck?
Batman v Superman.
Oh, really? Definitely.
Well, I think, okay, maybe I'm speaking too early. I think I can speak for all of us when I say there's a lot of potential for that movie to suck. Is that an agreeable statement?
I would stop it at the word movie.
Okay.
There's a lot of potential for that movie.
Oh.
We'll see how they do. It's so much good is there to work with. That said, like, has Zack Snyder ever made a mistake? Yes, many, but 300 of them.
Yeah.
But
But they look so
no,
good.
but that was a great movie,
They look
actually.
so good when he's making them.
Yes.
That's the thing I feel like they're harping on.
They're the
he
best
makes
looking
beautiful
comic book
mistakes.
films.
Beautiful looking mistakes.
When he doesn't have to make creative decisions, he's great.
and he's in 100% in creative control of this. So
I know,
yeah,
and it's a little worrisome.
But the best news about it is Ben Affleck, when he joined, and he kind of was like, okay, but you guys know I don't make bad movies anymore, so I get to seriously. So he's like,
I don't wait in lines.
So apparently there was a lot of work on the script done,
Okay.
and things were the dialogue was taken to another level. Supposedly, even well into the process, they were like, okay, you guys think you have a good movie? Let me go back and actually show you what a good movie is.
My
And so
anticipation-
the Argo writing. Is
Yeah,
gonna come
exactly.
into play.
My anticipation is there's going to be an amazing Batman movie inside this movie, but everything that isn't a
I
Batman
look
movie.
forward to
is
Batman
seeing
can
something
carry a
else.
whole
that
universe.
maybe.
Yeah.
I want to see Henry Cavill have something to work with that shows that he's a good Superman. I feel like the writing before did him like he had to be emo Superman because that's how the story was written.
Yeah,
I would like to
right.
see him actually
Moper
get
Man?
a chance to.
He was a better
Right.
Superman in Man from U.N.C.L.E. than he was in Man of Steel.
Right.
That's what's
Well, they didn't give him a
frustrating.
chance.
Right.
I agree. They didn't give him a chance.
Now, superhero movie I really want to talk about.
You didn't want to talk about
Wait,
it?
we're not talking about Wonder Woman at all? Okay.
That's not out this year.
Like 7
No,
years
in Bad
away.
v Soups though.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well,
Joe, then.
I do think that comes down to trying to get a lot into a tiny space. Hold on. Getting a lot of
Wow. Have you
superheroes
had
into
her
a
too,
movie.
Joven?
Going back to how we were talking about Civil War, like being like there's gonna be a lot in there. How do you
Yeah.
focus on one thing? Like, are we focusing on Batman? Are we focusing on Superman? No, we're focusing on Wonder Woman now. Again, a lot of potential, but I think that is the potential also and why it could be bad.
And Aqua Khal Drogo, which
I
think-
don't think he's going to be in it that much.
No,
Yeah.
I think
they're
at the
gonna show up
very
at the
last 5 minutes we get everyone
The
coming
way to make it
together.
work is you kill Superman at the end of the movie.
Yes.
That's my.
And then
theory.
they formed the
They
Justice
form
League.
But
Justice League.
you-
Because you don't need a Justice League in a real world if you have Superman.
Yeah.
Well, I know. I
Well,
love
you talk to fish.
I
Who
love
gives a
that
fuck?
idea. The death of Superman creates the dawn of the Justice League. I do want to remind everybody that I called this out on one of my videos that FLitZ thought. What was it that the Aquaman's people were gonna make the fins on what's
Zod's
his name?
hands?
Zod's hands.
Oh,
and you're
yeah,
like,
yeah.
they're gonna come in. They're gonna give him fish hands.
he's gonna be merged with their DNA.
I feel like, do you want to take that back now, FLitZ?
No.
Trish,
I feel like
Yeah.
listen.
What- what?
I have a theory about Doomsday. My theory about Doomsday. If you know Doomsday, you understand. Like he was cloned over and over again.
Yes.
So the fact that Luthor, like he gets access to Zod's DNA, he does what was done to Doomsday. He clones them and then he puts them through all of these situations. He splices genes to take on Superman.
Levi's.
He spliced
Yes,
the pants.
He's
Levi's
got
yeah.
big waist.
And
I think that's a very safe assessment of
That'd
what's
be
going to
fun.
happen
Yeah.
in the movie based on what we've seen. But Trish, you are wearing a Wonder Woman shirt right now. I feel like you might have an opinion. What is it?
Well, and again, this may be an unpopular opinion, but
We're out of confetti.
I'm still very nervous about Gal Gadot being Wonder Woman because she's tiny and
She
I
is
wanted
tiny.
a big lady. Like for Wonder Woman, like when we look at
She's tall.
Superman, we see like a big imposing figure.
Yeah, man.
When we look at Wonder Woman, she is 5'10", she's tall. But I want like a Lucy Lawless.
Like a
I
Caitlyn
want
Jenner.
I want a Brienne of Tarth. Like I
Yeah.
want a woman that you look at and you're like, oh, I'm fucked.
Yeah, like Precious.
You know, I want you to be
Gabber Day have a
scared.
super day?
And when you, not that Gal Gadot can't be a wonderful fighter. You know, I don't see her as Wonder Woman, and that scares me. Now they can do a lot with filming from different angles and special
Apple
effects.
boxes.
Yeah, they can do a lot with apple boxes
What do you
and
think
special
of Sarah
effects.
Michelle Gellar as Buffy?
But Buffy's a very different character
But
than Wonder Woman.
but they both just have innate super strength that is not tied to their bodies.
But Buffy wasn't she in like high school?
She's a
no,
warrior. and
Wonder
she's-
Woman was an Amazon.
Yeah.
Yeah,
She's
she's
an
an
Amazonian warrior. That's-
but you don't need to be like China in order to be able to like have.
But
super
it
It
only
only
Conchita
was though.
Corrado.
Like when we're talking about Sarah Michelle Gellar as Buffy, Buffy was your unlikely hero. She was a teenage high schooler.
Well,
so
that's why they never
that's
showed
why
her like
you want
muscles.
her to.
I
right.
think if Gal Gadot is ripped and just comes off as ripped, we'll buy it.
I don't know. I love Wonder Woman. I've cosplayed Wonder Woman, but I always knew in my heart I can't be Wonder Woman
'Cause you're
because
4
I'm
feet tall.
5'0".
Well, isn't that
So
wonderful
you
though?
won.
But okay, legitimately, Wonder Woman, Superman, Batman is every kid out there that isn't super jacked and giant. They can't be that either.
No,
I feel like you get
can
to
totally
be like,
play that,
anyone
but
can
as
be
far
able
as
to
getting
that.
cast in a major motion picture, is that you're probably more of a Flash. You're probably
Especially when
Let's get-
you're
no, let's
Gal
get-
Gadot as a
you
Flash
know,
would be kind of
Get a
interesting.
Rebel Wilson Wonder Woman. That's what I want.
On that note,
Rainbow.
Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles out
No
of the
one wants to
shadows.
talk about it.
Yes.
You are so eager.
Stop.
See, you know what? You know what?
Bebop and Rocksteady and
and
Green
Rocksteady's
Arrow.
exciting.
Come on.
Yes,
Green Arrow?
Yeah.
Yeah, Green Arrow
He's Casey
plays Casey
Jones.
Jones.
Yeah.
Oh, Green Arrow.
Which is before
There's not a crossover.
No crossover.
like,
Not
what?
yet.
Yeah.
That movie, speaking of potential to suck, Nah, it's gonna be great. It's gonna be fantastic.
On
It's toys.
something.
Yeah, it's literally. I did watch the trailer and I was like, okay, yeah, like I'm excited because
Krang.
it's finally
Is
the
it Krang?
toys.
Krang is
It's the
confirmed.
toys.
confirmed.
Krang is great, and we saw the pizza tossing wagon with
And
that van that
Yeah.
shoots the
Dia
pizzas.
as
That's
Baxter
great.
Stockman, like
Yeah.
It's different than the
I will
salad
say,
tossing wagon.
they're like trying to go
Super
after
cool now.
nostalgia so
Very
hard on this
But
thing.
I'm okay with it now. I
Yeah,
feel like it's
sure.
very aware of itself now.
And
It was
as
trying
long
to
as
be
they fix what they did wrong by having too much April O'Neil in the first movie, it's just you're gonna be great. Which
Megan
I do
Fox,
think Megan
Les?
Fox is not a bad April O'Neil for the direction they want to go
Yeah,
with.
Fox
There was
like
too
Ninja
much of her in the
Turtles.
movie though. There was some stupid stuff in the movie that didn't need to be there. That should have been more Ninja Turtles.
Bebop and Rocksteady, I'm excited for too. Yeah, they're gonna do Tokar and Razor right.
You look like you shop at the same place that Bebop and
I
Rocksteady.
do. They're actually my cousins.
That's funny.
Bebop, Rocksteady, and
But
FLitZ.
though we have been focusing a
And
lot,
FLitZ. And FLitZ.
It's a ghostly trio.
Son. Yeah.
we have focused a lot on how these movies potentially could suck. We're all obviously going to walk in, and as you guys should, have an open mind as you go to see these movies. They could be good. They'll be entertaining, I think,
I think
mostly.
so.
Yeah,
some of them.
Definitely. It's a great time to be alive.
I'm
Yes.
going to see them all.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
yeah.
And I'm going to be
Except
excited
Ninja
to see
Turtles.
them all.
And angry at some
Except
of
for
them.
maybe
I'm
Ninja
not gonna do
Turtles.
that.
I might go see. I think I'm gonna go see Ninja Turtles.
Netflix.
No, it's gonna be
Yeah.
But
You're in
how I want to wrap up the show today is there was some news that hit this week about not that kind of rap.
Oh.
On
We
how
looked at FLitZ.
I didn't know who made the
usually
sound.
do it.
Yeah, it's normally him. That's fine.
It's one of the minorities.
So there's been talk in the news this week that we will be seeing a merger between Mattel and Hasbro, the two toy giants. And you were talking
Are they
about
gonna be
this
called
earlier.
What does
Hotel?
that mean?
Hotel?
Yeah.
Hotel.
Hasbro.
I like hotel.
I would stay at that hotel.
The Mattel Hotel.
Hell,
Yeah. So
With Lego beds.
because of this, I thought
'cause Lego's in there
it
too.
would be a great idea to do Make It Work. So what I want to do on this segment, Make It Work, is we have an idea, make it work as a movie. So we're going to start over here, we're going to make our way this way, make a crossover movie of Mattel and Hasbro properties
I don't
work.
even- I'm-
Yes.
wow, I hope I get the one. Okay, go.
You're trying to kill time. Well, frankly, let's think about mergers for a bit.
Yeah.
Define
Let's talk about the equity of both
Yeah, yeah.
Mattel and
Okay,
Hasbro.
no, I'll eat up time because I got one. So if
Okay.
you guys need to think while
No,
I
I'm
do this,
good. I
this
got
is
it.
just for the viewer, all right? Okay, so Mattel and Hasbro are gonna merge. So we go to the distant future. What do you get your finger out of here? All right, we go to the distant Lego bright, light bright future. So think like
Oh.
Tron kind of, but it's light bright. Matt, when your turn happens, you can try to be funny there. So it's the light bright future. Hitler's back.
Okay. Okay.
Yes, Hitler's back.
Yes, he's back. Back
That's
again.
Again,
All right.
wait.
Time travel has been invented. Hitler goes back and defeats every great G.I. Joe army of all time. Every single great war the G.I. Joes have won it in the Hasbro universe.
Does he team with Cobra?
Yeah, sure. Because it's based on that.
You haven't thought this through.
Yeah. Well, you can co-write. They wipe out all the G.I. Joes through time. Hitler wins again and again and again. So who steps up? Just like in World War II, the American girls. American Girl dolls step
Just
up.
like in World War II.
And every single time there's been a great war, the Revolutionary War, in ancient Greece, every single version of American Girl has to lead an army of American girls, and they have to defeat Hitler's forces through time. American girls become American women, sisters in time, right? And
They're children.
Zack Snyder movie?
They're
and
children.
Snyder
no,
movie.
they become women.
Then they're not. All right.
Defeat all of these people, or Hitler wins, right? And just for a little bit of fun, right, we throw in kind of like Ant-Man did to the Avengers, a little Polly Pocket, and she just can go
Quite
around with
literally.
that.
Quite literally.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
FLitZ.
Okay.
FLitZ,
$100
give me your-
billion dollar movie.
So
American
what we didn't know
GIRL.
is in the G.I. Joe universe, as Cobra has taken over, things have gone much awry and it's bled out onto the American streets.
I had a much rice sandwich earlier.
Things have gone
Doing
much
your turn, Matt.
awry. Shut up. And then, and as the violence bleeds out onto the streets, while she's shopping, have a nice day out with her boyfriend Ken, Ken gets blasted in the face by Cobra forces.
Wait.
With what?
Yeah.
Right? By Cobra with a gun.
Oh, okay.
Oh, okay.
Wait.
Oh no, it's not. It's
What
not
kind of
important.
movie is
It's
it?
not. This is not.
That's how I would make it work.
Ken gets blasted in the
Just
face
hate the movie.
with the laser guns by Cobra forces. So the Joes were there to help, but they were just too late. So now they take on Barbie as a soldier, and it's just Barbie, and it's like her being like this action military. She's no longer a priss. She's no longer Valley Girl. She's elite and she's fighting for
She's a
love,
hacker.
for the honor of Ken and the love of her man, and she falls in love with Duke, and then they have a baby.
Okay.
Oh, so Ken just
Ken
played-
dead. No, Ken dead.
Yeah, Ken
Oh,
dead.
okay,
Ken
okay.
dead. Ken
yeah.
dead.
He did.
I like where you're at.
I don't know who owns what properties.
I'm gonna take your
I
concept.
hope I got it right.
Yeah.
Parker Bros were in there
Yeah.
for some reason. I got real messy.
Vodka shows up.
I too had a similar crossover with Barbie and G.I. Joe. So you have G.I. Joes having some troubles against Cobra. They need to rebuild their team, and one of their top picks that they're training is a strong female named Barbara Bell, who makes it into G.I. Joe with codename Barbie.
Okay.
And she's doing fantastic. And in one of their first missions, where they're able to infiltrate the Cobra headquarters, she falls in love with one of Cobra's newest members, who utilizes kinetic energy as a necromancer.
What's his name?
Codename Ken.
Wait, why?
Ken Eddick. The old man fell asleep.
Come on, kinetic energy, K-E, necromancer. And anyway, Ken. So she falls in love with, but he's on the opposite side, and there's
Kinetic
turmoil, there's a
AI?
problem, and the movie is called G.I. Joe: Love and Death.
Wait. The love and death part lost me. Or is that like
Well,
a
love
pun?
because
That's just
Barbie falls in love
Rise
with
of the Love and the Death.
necromancer, who is a magician, a sorcerer of death. So Love and Death.
Does Skipper Scout make an appearance?
Sequel. Trisha, you're up.
Can I fix yours? Can I fix yours?
Yeah.
Well, because kinetic is K-I-N.
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
C-I-C.
But
Yeah.
and it's
G.I. Joe.
kinetic K, energy E,
her-
necromancer N.
Her
Oh!
Did you guys not get that?
Fixed.
Drop the mic.
It'll come
Don't
through in
drop that
post.
mic.
Yeah, he'll get it.
Trisha, your turn.
Okay, so I was picturing just a total testosterone fest where it's like a gang war between Transformers and
Bang.
Hot Wheels. So it's a gang war of cars against each other. And I
Gang
mean,
bang of cars. Sorry, go.
Wrong channel.
okay, yeah.
Could you let her finish? God, you guys are so
I mean,
disrespectful.
that would be interesting for sure. No, so
It's in the tailpipe.
it's a gang war between Hot Wheels and Transformers, and obviously, since this is a testosterone fest, we would need someone like a Michael Bay to direct it, so we could have a Barbie to fill in there
Okay.
in that needed role. And then to bring the muscle, we need all of the WWE action figures.
There you go.
So that's like the army that each car gang is bringing to the fight. And there's no plot needed because it's just going to be
Are the Hot Wheels
explosions.
still this
and-
big?
How are the Hot Wheels
Yeah,
to scale?
man.
It's not Micro Machines. It's Hot Wheels.
Still Hot Wheels,
It's
yeah.
like wrestling wacky races.
Yeah.
Need for Speed.
that sounds
Wouldn't
awesome.
watch
Fast
that
and
show.
Furious. Like.
It'd be great. It'd be great. Yeah, but you know, if the Hot Wheels have Sheamus on their side,
Oh, they're
That
just
is
gonna
a
win.
WWE
That's
Yeah.
a WWE star.
You ever been mad at your brother and you throw a Hot Wheel at him and you actually hurt him and you feel very bad?
You
That's
just
what
nether bleeding
wrestlers
from the
will be
face.
doing. Just throwing Hot Wheels. Ah!
no way, they're so fast, man.
The Hot Wheels?
Yeah.
No, the wrestlers too.
Yeah, everyone's fast.
I like that.
fine.
I like that.
I don't know. I feel like it doesn't need a plot. I feel like it
No,
would be a
it doesn't.
fun
Well,
movie.
no.
We're
It's
dealing with
Fast
toys.
Fast and the Furious, but this big.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're
It's a
like it.
documentary.
We're dealing with toys.
I like it. I like it a lot.
Matt Rob,
I.
your turn to be funny.
Oh, to be funny. Oh no.
Listen to
on.
that.
All right. Mine is two parts. It's one part Small Soldiers. Remember Small Soldiers?
Okay.
And
Phil
one
Hartman film?
Nope. And one part there was a cartoon animated movie that was on TV in the 90s called Cartoon All Stars to the Rescue. Does anyone remember this?
No.
I would have
old,
to
man.
see it. I don't.
It
probably
was
don't remember
produced by Dare, the drug
Okay.
program,
Yeah,
and it was
yeah.
about trying to get kids to not do drugs. And all of his favorite cartoon characters came to real life because he had stuffed animals. So it
There's
was
crossovers in it.
it was crossovers. It was Slimer. It was Garfield. It was Brett the Hitman Hart.
Oh my God, I do remember this.
It
I've
was
seen the
all
clips.
these
Oh
characters
my
in the
God.
late '80s. So that's kind of my idea. All these toys come to life, and they try to come to bring this kid out of whatever drug-addled state that his friends are peer pressuring him into doing, right? So, and it happens to be a very specific group of characters, right? Because Mattel owns a little property called DC, and Hasbro owns a little property called Marvel. So it's Marvel versus DC, what everyone's wanted, but toys.
And stopping a kid from doing
I
drugs.
like that.
You don't need a PSA.
Yeah, sure, why not?
Yeah.
So wait, what kind of drugs is the kid doing though?
Alcohol, just alcohol.
I'm a
And
little
where did he get
worried
alcohol?
about the marketability of this film. If we're like, it's toys, it's for
it's
kids, and
toys.
he's like shooting up heroin.
Isn't that why he's seen his toys come to life?
Oh my God, I'm pretty sure.
If I do heroin, my toys come to life?
Thanos is coming right at me.
Just that's the beginning of Toy Story too. Andy is just shooting up.
All right, guys, so that's been Unpopular Kids. Let us know in the comments below what movies you think will suck or not suck. Also, make your crossover for Hasbro and Mattel work. Trish, where can we find your stuffs on the internets?
You can find me on the show Super Gamer Builds on All Me right now, or on Take My Money, or Thursday live streaming with Escapist.
Sweet.
Yeah, all over there.
And Philip, once again, where can we find you?
You can find me talking about this exact kind of stuff and Walking Dead and stuff on youtube.com/newrockstars.
Forgot.
And you can also check out what we'll be doing on Break on youtube.com/break. And then Twitter, it's at FIMO, FIMO.
Sweet. Thank you. Everyone, have a great day.
Thank you.
See you next week. Bye.
There isn't much I can foresee to be excited about. So I'm gonna go with Civil War.
no emotion.
I don't.
I feel the same.
I tried. Anticipation only. It caused me
FLitZ says it
anxiety.
was.
That's
It's
visual.
funny that this time around Star Wars really isn't spoiling anything, or they aren't spoiling anything in the trailers.
We hope.
Or on the action figures for the better part of it. Because, like,